Hello Agains, it's me, Nanagens, with a brand new video. In the Indigo server, we're doing Starter Wars again. The last time we did this, there were 6 less starters, so we have 6 new ones, which is pretty awesome. It's been something I've been wanting to do for a really long time. Just, life. And, here we are, with our tier list. So let's quickly explain the tiers. Meta defining are like starters that are like the things that you are definitely going to be wanting to prepare for and fight in almost every matchup. High variance are Pokemon that I think are going to be really, really good on any team, or have a lot of different builds that you can do with them to make them very creative. Niche are Pokemon that kind of are not bad, but they are like specifically a counter pick, or they don't offer that much. But they offer more than a one-trick pony, which is kind of like you only have one set with that Pokemon, and there's not really much that you can do with it. And then the not great tier are Pokemon that really struggle in a format that is limited like this. Even in a format that is unlimited, they struggle. So real quick, what I wanted to do is, when I had the sign-up sheet, I had a list, or I had a few response questions saying, what do you think is the best? So the most frequently praised ones were Meowscarada, Skeledirge, Rillaboom, Greninja, Incineroar, Cinderace, Samurott Hisui, Blaziken, and Superior. Blaziken and Superior got 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4. So these two are definitely gonna be good. Rillaboom is insane. Greninja's obviously so good for so many different reasons. Incineroar in this format specifically, my music just stopped playing. That's so annoying. I hate everything. Just go back. I hate it when that happens. Sorry, ear rape, whatever. Oh, my internet disconnected. That's annoying. Well, typical. Second time this has happened. I'm gonna keep recording, and hopefully it'll work. So for the worst Pokemon, 14 responses. People really don't like Meganium. And then everything else is just strays. Somebody said Venusaur, which you're insane. Somebody said Sceptile, which I understand. Somebody said Torterra, which I understand. Somebody said Superior, which you're wild. Somebody said Embor, which you're wild. Somebody said Samurott, which I understand. And somebody said Rillaboom, which you're insane. Whoever said that, that was out of malice. You clearly don't understand how good Rillaboom is. So I'm gonna quickly just do what I think are. Let's not have every grass starter here, right? This is silly. This was the result of the polls. Is these two were mixed, and then everybody else is like this. So real quick, Pokemon that are obviously going to be very good are going to be up here. I'm just going to leave them up here and out of mind right now, and then we can re-edit the list as needed. Superior, I actually think, is a one-trick pony. There's not really too much it can do, especially in a meta without Terra or Z moves or whatever. It's gonna push Leaf Storm, and it's gonna have 8 Leaf Storms, which means you can use Protect. You can switch into your grass types that are bulky enough. Venusaur as a times 4 resist, I think, because grass resists grass. I think I don't really remember. Regardless, Venusaur still has resist. And there are other Pokemon that are going to be able to resist it as well. And then it's usually going to want to run a Scarf. It can have Defog, which, why are you running Defog on Superior? It's fast. It can kill things, I guess, but, like, not really. There are better Pokemon. Why would you want to run Superior when you could run Rillaboom? Why would you want to run Superior when you could run Miascarada? It's very, very niche. It's very much a one-trick, I feel. Venusaur has high variance. There's so many different builds you can do with Venusaur. You can be bulky, you can be growth, sun. There's so much to do with Venusaur. Being poison type means that he can counter other grass types. Being a grass type means he beats water types, which is pretty cool. He doesn't really have that many losing matchups other than fire types, but even then he can sleep powder a lot of fire types if he's in the sun. And he can outspeed them. He also is like 80 speed, I think. I'm not super sure. I probably should have opened a showdown tab. I don't really care that much though. He's good though. We're just gonna keep replaying Apescape Ever Summer Island because my internet. No, it's back. It's back. I don't know what's going on. This is stupid. I think Charizard has high variance, and I think he can have really good matchups. But he's also kind of niche, right? He's the only flying type, right? And that's pretty good. Like, being the only flying type is kind of huge. I definitely think that's a big thing. I actually do think that's very worthwhile, having the only flying type stab. Except, JK, not really, because flying stab... not flying stab, but, you know... Acrobatics Cinderace is going to be very important in this kind of format. I think Greninja has Aerial Ace or something. I'm not super sure. He might also have Acrobatics. Miascarada might have Acrobatics as well. I don't know. Should have definitely prepped a list or a showdown tab. Too bad. So sad. Not happening. So I think Blastoise also has high variance. Yeah, I think Blastoise has really high variance. I think he can be a Shell Smash Sweeper or just a really bulky water type with a slow flip turn, which is pretty useful. Water types can't really kill him. Fire types can't really kill him easily. Obviously, everything is going to have some type of counterpick, but broad strokes, right? The grass types are going to kind of destroy him. But if he has a Shell Smash, he's going to Ice Beam them, and then they might die. You know, that's just how it's going to go. He doesn't really need to be running Dark Pulse, because what is Dark Pulse hitting? So you know he's going to want to push Surf, or he's going to want to push Ice Beam with Shell Smash. Or he can run Rapid Spin, he can run Flip Turn. He has a few choices. He can be Heavy Duty Boots, Shell Smash, White Herb, that's what the item is called. He could run a White Herb setup. He has variance, a lot of variance, I think. Which might sound a little one-tricky. I'll put him in niche. But I think he has a lot that he can do. He's not a one-trick, though. He has more than meets the eye, I think. Somebody's gonna pop off with Blastoise one of these days. I don't know if it's today though. Typhlosion I think is not good. Don't use Typhlosion. Typhlosion has Scarf Eruptions, but there are better Scarfers. And it really only has Scarf Eruption. It doesn't really have anything else it can do. And there are definitely enough Fire types and Water types that you're not going to be killing. It's not even really a Rillaboom counter, because if you switch in and you get predicted and he uses Earth Power or whatever move he wants to use against you and then hits you with a Grassy Glide, you're probably dying because you're not that bulky user, even if you resist Grassy Glide. Grassy Glide is so good, even if it's nerfed. If he has a Swords Dance Grassy Glide, he's probably killing you. He's probably killing most Pokemon. It's just the same song, I'm sorry. Feraligatr, I think, is better than not great. I think he's niche. Dragon Dance setups are gonna go hard. Ice Fang, Superpower Waterfall, something along those lines, that's not a bad moveset, you know? Being able to outspeed everything with Sheer Force, Life Orb, that's gonna take names. He dies to a Grassy Glide, probably. The Great Equalizer. But such is life. I don't think he's that bad. I think he's good. I do think he's a one-trick pony, though. I think you have to run Dragon Dance. If he's not running Dragon Dance, you could run Scarf? Don't do that, though. Don't run Scarf on Feraligatr. Swampert, I think has high variance. I think there's a lot you can do. I think you can run a bulky setup. I think you can run an offensive setup, a Trick Room setup if you wanted to, with fucking the one Trick Room setter, which is Delphox. I don't think you could. You can, though. Slow Flip Turn is just so amazing. We've seen some really cool Swampert setups in the last Starter Wars. And yes, the meta has definitely gotten harder for Swampert because Meowscarada is very relevant now. But Swampert still is a really good Pokemon. Slow Flip Turns can never be underestimated. Infernape is weird. Every time I've used a Fernape, I've always felt like it's just not enough. You want it to be a Scarf, but there are better Scarfers. You want it to be a Stealth Rock setter, but there are better Stealth Rock setters. You want it to be a Momentum Pokemon, but there are better Momentum Pokemon. You want it to be a Fighting type, but there are kind of better Fighting types. I really feel like Infernape, out of all the starters in this format, is a Jack-of-all-trades kind of Pokemon and Master of None, which is very useful. But it really depends on how... I think he's a very high skill level Pokemon in this kind of format. Which I'm not saying not everything is going to be easy, not everything's going to be hard. I don't know even what I'm saying anymore. But I think Infernape is really good in the right hands. I think it's clearly better than Charizard. But Charizard can hit it with a flying type move, but you know, if you're rocking rock coverage for the one Pokemon that you're gonna need it for, hey, you prepped to not lose to Charizards, and that's pretty cool. Empoleon, I think, is high variance. Being the only Steel type is really good. Having Knockoff, having Scald, having Defog, Stealth Rocks, really good. Steel move, if you want a Steel move for one matchup, which is Primarina, go off, friend. I said go off and the music shut off. How cool is that? I don't know. I think Empoleon is probably better than Swampert. Being immune to poison type is also really good. I think Swampert's insane, dude. Or not Swampert. Empoleon is insane. Empoleon is really, really good and offers a lot for their team. Chestnut is so good in this kind of format. I almost want to put him in meta defining, but I don't think he is. I think he's really high variance. He not a lot of Pokemon can touch him. Grass types can't do anything to him. He's the best grass type wall. If you have flying type coverage, you're probably destroying him. And I actually do recommend people bring flying type coverage specifically for this one Pokemon. He is that threatening. He can wall all your grass types. He can wall Cinderace. He can wall any ballistic type moves. If you don't bring the right sets. Like Shadow Ball doesn't do anything to him. Pyro Ball doesn't do anything to him. There are other moves that just don't do anything to him at all. He can't be touched. Which is really freaking funny. I love Chestnut. He's one of the coolest Pokemon in this format, and he can really, really shine here. He's got a lot of tools to troll, to stall, but he can also bulk up. He can one-shot stuff. Fighting type is not super bad for him. Being able to beat Empoleon with a Drain Punch or whatever. You just have to be really wary of flying type moves. You want to scout that out a lot. And not die to flying moves, really. That's kind of your biggest thing. Yeah, flamethrowers are gonna hit you. Special attacking fire types are your biggest problem. So, like, Charizard and Skeletors, for example, will mess you up. Typhlosion will mess you up, but by golly, if people are running Typhlosion, I think you have a lot less to worry about. Delphox, I think, has high variance. I think Delphox is really, really good. Being a Psychic type to beat a lot of the fire types, the fighting types, I mean, is really, really good. She's really super specially bulky, which is really cool. She's the only Trick Room setter. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong. There are new Pokemon, I don't know what they all do. But Trick Room setting is somewhat valuable. I believe she's the only Pokemon in this format that has Teleport, which she's somewhat frail, but that can be utilized because she's very specially bulky. Stab Psychic is really good. Stab Flamethrower is really good. Scarf Switcheroo. You know, I mean, there are plenty of Pokemon that can do that. She is a good Scarfer, though. She's a better Scarfer than some things. I should have looked up speed 2s before doing this. My bad. I think Delphox is really good, though. The only problem with Delphox is this guy exists, and this guy exists, and this guy exists, and this guy really exists now. I feel like it's not even making it that far anymore. Y'all want a new song? Live. I don't know if it'll load. It probably won't. Decidueye. I want Decidueye to be up here, but he's just not. I don't know what to do with Decidueye. I think he's a one-trick pony. I don't even think he's that great, actually. I think Decidueye struggles. I don't know what he's good at doing. A semi-slow U-turner. He has Defog. He has alright bulk. Ghost type Stab is good, but there are really good dark types here. Being able to be immune to all the fighting type moves that are going to be thrown out is really good. All the fighting types also have fire type attached to them, though, so you're not really doing that much. Yes, I know this one exists. Yes, I know this one exists. But, like, a lot of these fire types are going to be ripping you to shreds. So Decidueye is weird. There's not a lot you can do. Oh, the internet's totally dead. No music. Probably. I don't know. I don't know why YouTube hates me. I don't know why OBS hates me. Everything's out to get me. I'm a victim. So I think Deflux is good. I think that's who we were talking about. Not having music play in my ear is very odd because it's like the volume is just gone. And now I have the ambience to listen to. Primarina is the only fairy type. And also can bypass substitutes. Fairy type beats fighting type. Fairy type beats dark type. Guess what we have a lot of? Yep, that's right. Guess what? Primarina, also an insanely good special attacker. Like, really good special attack. So having a special attack that bypasses substitute, that also I lost my train of thought. I forgot what I was probably just gonna repeat myself a few more times. Primarina is really good. It always lives at 2 HP and then revenge kills something. I don't know why, but I've never seen a Pokemon do it as successfully and frequently as as Primarina. I love this Pokemon. She's one of my favorites. Inteleon is not great. I like Inteleon. I think Inteleon is a cool Pokemon in draft format. Inteleon really struggles in this format. It doesn't really have a lot to offer. It has a funny crit hee-haw build. So, honestly, he's a one-trick. He's not bad. But there's really just so many good water types that you really don't want to have a mono water that can't do much. Why would you want a mono water that can crit stuff when you can have a mono water or a water dark that can sometimes also crit stuff and do way more and have like stab anything, you know, that's also faster and hits harder and can be special or physical. Inteleon's just a case of being outclassed. He would be decent if he had more going for him. He just doesn't. Hisuian Decidueye. I was trying so hard to conceptualize things of what would make him good. Like, beating this guy is kind of good. But this guy is faster and has, like, sharpness boosted aerial ace. I don't think he's that good. I don't think you should run him over Chestnut. I don't think you should run him over normal Decidueye. I'll even move Decidueye up because of how not great I think Hisuian Decidueye is. His cool, like, gimmick move of having 3 things happen if you hit it is neat, but, like, he's 60 base speed, and there are a lot faster starters, so you want to run him Scarf. But guess what? People are going to run Scarf Miascarada. People are going to run Scarf this guy, Skeleturge, and I don't know. There's just, like, not really a good reason to run this Pokemon. He's completely outclassed. The things that he offers, other Pokemon offer way better. I don't know. He's just not that good, and he's not fast. And it's truly a tragedy, because this Pokemon is so cool looking. Same with normal Decidueye. So, Ghost type Typhlosion, Hisuian Typhlosion, I think is better than normal Typhlosion. Because it also has Eruption. That's kind of cool. And it hits harder than normal Typhlosion. And I think it's either the same speed or it's like 5 speed faster. And it's got Ghost type Stab, which is kind of cool. Here's the but. There are so many dark types that Ghost type really isn't that valuable. It's just not really that great. You're kind of a one-trick eruption, like Scarf, Eruption, Scarf, Shadow Ball. I don't really know what else you do. Other than that, if you can come up with a cool set for this Pokemon, please share. I inherently think having a dual type makes you more valuable than Typhlosion. No. I'm wrong. Flash Fire is definitely more useful than Frisk. Frisk is a bad ability in this format. You kind of... Items are going to be revealed often and frequently, and Frisk just isn't what it used to be. Frisk is good in draft. It's not good in a tournament setting, I feel. Unless you just really don't know if they're wearing heavy duty boots and switched in with no damage. No, just be observational and your eyes will be the Frisk. Dancing Duck. I think Dancing Duck has high variance. I think the only water fighting type here is really good. Moxie, Aqua Steps are gonna pop off. Somebody's going to get swept by Justice Pokemon, and it is going to be so funny because they didn't bring Blastoise or something. Fighting Stab is always good, especially when there are so many Dark types. You might be one of the only things that like can deal with this guy. Whew, you might be really high variance. I think Infernape goes down. I think Infernape's niche. I think Delphox is niche too. That makes it my tier thick good. Yay. I think I don't really have a lot to say about him. I think he's good. Let's get Torterra out of here. Torterra was not great in Gen 8. In this generation, having Shell Smash changes everything. This means you're an offensive powerhouse, which is really funny. And if you set up as Shell Smash, with Ground Stab and Grass Stab, and I guess Grass types kind of volley you regardless. I don't know what you do to Grass types, especially considering you're a Ground type. But, if Rillaboom's dead, you might sweep the entire team. If they didn't bring a Rillaboom. If they didn't bring a Rillaboom pop-off. That's cool. You beat Venusaur? Kinda. You go even with Venusaur, I think. I don't really know. I don't know. I want to give Torterra the benefit of the doubt. I think he can be a Trick Room Sweeper, if you want to run that. I don't think it's niche. I think it's a one-trick pony. I think it has to be the Shell Smash setup. I don't really know what else you can do with it. It can be kind of a bulky revenge killer. I guess. I don't know. It dies to an Ice Beam, which every single water type here should be running an Ice Beam. And most fire types will have something to deal with it. And I think grass types will be able to beat it in 1v1s a lot of the time. But I do think Shell Smash will pop off. I think somebody's going to die to it. I think Sceptile is awful. Sceptile is so bad. It offers speed and nothing else. It has no move pool. It has on burden. Wow, that's cool. It's gone in a second. As soon as you switch out or die. You have speed and nothing else. There's no moveset with this Pokemon. It's so bad. I think very, very lowly of Sceptile. I think it's very bad. It can't kill grass types. Unless, I guess it hits fucking Leaf Blade crits, dude. I don't know. Sceptile's not good. I think he's neat. I wish he had Dragon type at all times. But he doesn't. He's poor. I think Samurott is the worst Pokemon. I'm gonna be quite frank. I think Samurott is worse than Meganium. I think Sceptile is better than it. I think it has nothing to offer. Why would you ever run Samurott when you could run Hisui Samurott? Like, I already believe this last generation when Hisui Samurott did not exist. But golly, it's so bad. Really, genuinely, it can't do anything. Me and Hook have tried so hard in a Starter Wars Gen 8 to make Samurott work. It has nothing. It's not slow enough. It's not strong enough, specially or physically. It's not bulky enough. It can't get crit. Whoa, you counter Inteleon! Wow! I don't think Samurott is good. I don't think it's worth bringing. I think it's not great Pokemon. It just is so outclassed by every water type. It's so outplayed by every grass type. It's not killing Meganium. It has a not great Ice Beam, Meganium's not great, dude, but at least it can set up screens. I don't know. I think Meganium is golly, it's so bad as well. I'm exaggerating. But really, I think Samurott is the worst in this format. It has nothing to offer. And if somebody gets to finals with Samurott to spite me instead of Hisuian Samurott, I will gladly reevaluate what I've said about this Pokemon. But it is genuinely so bad. People are going to use Meganium because they think Meganium's the worst. And that's funny. Like, and they like Meganium, you know? That's cool. Good for them. People are going to use Sceptile because people like Sceptile. People like Typhlosion. People like these guys. Also, he's better than them. I don't really have anything to say except that he has Sucker Punch, which is kind of cool. Bulky fighting type, which is kind of cool. Good move pool, like surprisingly good move pool. He has Scald, so I don't know. Take that for what you want. He's kind of a one trick, kind of niche. He's not great, but I think he's better than these Pokemon. Samurot's bad. Samurott is a bad Pokemon. I don't think it's good. I don't think it offers anything. All right, so let's go through meta defining. I think it's very possible that Rillaboom is better than these two. Let's move Incineroar up, because I think Incineroar is better than Greninja. I think Hisuian Samurott is better than Greninja. And it's kind of hard to go from there. I think Cinderace is better than Greninja. I also think Cinderace is debatably better than Meowscarada. Whoa, actually, you won't get crit from Meowscarada. Whoa, that's so cool. Too bad it's a super effective grass move that's probably one-shotting you without a crit. Whoa. This Pokemon's so bad. I hate him. I love him, but I hate him. I think Cinderace is really good. These Blaziken is okay. I'm scatterbrained. Let me bring it back down. These are Pokemon that you want to be prepping to fight every single match, basically. The high variance Pokemon are also extremely, like, these are what you should be prepping to fight. If you're prepping to fight Blaziken, you're also prepping to fight Infernape, essentially. The thing with Blaziken is that it has Sword Stance Speed Boost, which is really good and can single-handedly clear a team. And that's why Skeleturge is so good. It's because Skeleturge has Unaware, which means it doesn't get swept by Sword Stance. Also, not dying to fire or fighting moves is really good. This is the best Ghost type for sure. Even with all the dark types, like, he stands on his own way above them. No. I've reevaluated this very quickly. He definitely brings a lot, but there are a lot of dark types. It's hard to forget about that. But he can single-handedly win a game. There are a lot of Pokemon in this format that can single-handedly win a game. It's kind of insane, and it's going to be very fun to watch. He's kind of a one-trick pony. Kinda. But he's way better at doing his one trick is so much better than these one tricks. And like his item has variance. He can be a Scarfer. He can be leftovers, subs. He has good variance, and Unaware alone brings so much to the table. Greninja, I think, is honestly just high variance. I don't think it's actually as good as Meowscarada or Cinderace. I don't think Rillaboom is as good as Incineroar. They were like the two top tiers last time. I think Incineroar just brings so much to a team at all times. Defensive Incineroar is definitely a lot better than offensive Incineroar in this format, I feel. Honestly, I don't know if Meowscarada is better than Cinderace, so I'm gonna put him right there. I think Hisui and Samurott is very interesting. He wasn't even on my radar until everybody started saying being able to ceaseless edge set spikes is really good, especially in a format where there's a lot of switching and not that many hazard removals. Which there are a fair amount. It's just that a lot of these Pokemon don't want to run hazard removal. Because they want all four of their moves to be used. I think he's going to pop off. I think he's going to be very good. There are just so many fighting types that it's going to be hard for him. But we will see. We will see what will happen. I think Blaziken is high variance. Mainly because you should definitely be prepping to fight fire types and fighting types. Fighting types and fire types, both of them, you want to make sure you always have like at least 2 ways to kill the fighting types, and you want to have at least like 3 ways to kill all the fire types because half the format is fire types. I think it's a high variance Pokemon because you also have to make sure you get your setup off. And if you don't get your setup off, Blaziken's kind of ass without it. Like if we didn't have Speed Boost, I think Blaziken goes to One Trick. I think it might even go to Not Great because like Infernape starts to move up at that point. But anyways, I think this is kind of how I want the list to be looking. But it doesn't really look that right. I think Greninja's better than you. I think the water types need more value, but no. Yeah, I think Empoleon's better. Empoleon's really good. I think Primarina's right there. Primarina has Moonblast, Sparking Aria. I don't know if that's like the Z move or what it's actually called. I don't remember. Flip Turn. And then it also has like Energy Ball. And Ice Beam. So it has coverage. So it can beat other water types. It can beat grass types. Or at least like do a servable chunk. Yeah, I think this is the final list. I don't know how long I was recording, right? Yeah, I was. I don't know how long I've been recording for. It doesn't tell me that. 40 minutes. Not bad. I wish music didn't stop playing. I don't know why this happens, but my OBS just it shits bricks. I'm really surprised that like Jelly doesn't crash it, which I'm very thankful for that Jelly doesn't crash it because I would be very sad. I think this is the final list. I can't really think of anything else that I'd want to change. Hisui and Decidueye get Scroppy, I think. Which that's kind of funny, but like you still don't outspeed any of the ghost types here, so it's like, dude, what are you doing with your life? Get it together. Put a scarf on it. He's still so slow. Because everything else is gonna be running scarf too. So there's going to be somebody that's running 6 scarves, and it's gonna be like, oh wow, I just got ran over by 6 scarves. Overall, it's really hard to tell you which type is the best type because all 3 of them have really good representations. Like the good grass types are running the meta, whereas the bad grass types are the worst Pokemon ever, and you should not run them. Like Sceptile. Sceptile sucks, dude. Sceptile is so bad. Typhlosion is bottom. I don't know who's the worst fire type between one of the Typhlosions, but it's one of the Typhlosions for sure. Definitely all the fire types I think have so much variance. Rocks, bring rocks. Seriously, rocks are super important in this format because there's so much switching, and the fire types are so good. Guess what beats fire types? It's water types, though. And guess what beats water types? It's grass types. And then Rillaboom also beats grass types and can also beat fire types. That's why Rillaboom is so good. Being able to change your type is very useful. People are going to say it's not, but it is. It is useful. I cannot wait to see what happens. I can't wait to see how people react to this tier list and call me silly names. Somebody's not going to stand for the Sceptile slander. Somebody's going to say Samurott is not the worst. Play Samurott. Give somebody a free win. Please do that. One thing about Samurott is that if you're running Samurott, you can't run this one. I'm pretty sure that's like in Nat Dex rules or whatever. Which is really, really funny. Please run normal Samurott. Run normal Typhlosion and Decidueye as well. Like, make that your team. Make that your core. Please. Please do it. It'll be so funny. My internet's still disconnected, even though, like, it says right here that I have internet. I milked it to 41 minutes. That's kind of cool. I should probably stop recording. I should probably go clean my house or something.